Yo, what is up guys? It is Samool back again with another Epic 7 video for you guys today. And today we're going to be talking all about the current rotation or season of Automaton Tower. Now I'm making this video because a lot of you guys have actually asked me in the comment section down below or even on Discord what are the best teams and devices to use and how to actually get through Automaton Tower level 5. Well, here I'm going to talk about, the best units, the best devices, and the easiest ways to actually just be able to auto through up to level 4 or even level 5. Now, I have no problems going through level 5, and you guys might say it's because of gear, but honestly, a lot of newer players, even if you're like 1 or 2 months into the game, I've seen be able to clear through Automaton Tower up to level 5 if you guys actually just know what devices and units to use. That being said, if you guys are enjoying the content so far and want to get updates when I have videos and guides like this release, as well as PvP videos and live streams as well, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button to get updates when my videos release. And also, make sure you guys check out my Discord server. We have a large community helping you guys out whenever you guys have questions, and they are very, very quick to respond. 100 times faster than me, so I apologize, but they're very, very nice as well and very, very helpful. That being said, let's talk about Automaton Tower. So yes, the season will rotate every so often, so we're going to talk about the current season. Currently, we have like a pretty much single target season, as you'll see is the theme of the video. But for now, let's just talk about the basic team comp. So for Automaton level 5, if you want to auto through it, I definitely recommend running 2 Soul Leavers. It just makes the margin for error a lot lower, and you don't have to waste as much stigma, replenishing the health of your units when they die. So I recommend using Tamarin and Rowana. Now Tamarin, there's not really a question about it. She's just the best Soul Weaver in the game. You guys probably already know, but her kit is super overloaded. She has an AoE cleanse whenever you guys get debuffed. She also has AoE attack buff, which is very powerful, and this team that I'm running lacks an attack buffer. She also has a force dual attack, which is very nice as well, and an AoE strip, which is extremely powerful in Automaton Tower because there are going to be waves with like 6 or 7 monsters, and her AoE strip just comes quite in handy. So make sure she's at 65% effectiveness as well, 80% for the bosses. The second Soul Weaver I recommend is Rowana because her S2 pretty much negates a lot of the boss's mechanics and the counterattacks from the wave monsters. There are a lot of counterattackers in Automaton Tower, and Rowana will make it so that your units will cycle very quickly and be pretty much invulnerable to those counterattacks. And the best part is she also has her S3, which has a revive built in for your team, so if there's any errors or you get unlucky with RNG and a certain monster focuses down one of your units by RNG or by chance, then that unit can get rezzed and you'll be good to go still. Now, if you guys don't have Tamarin or Rowana, because you do have to pull for them from their banners, then there are 2 free-to-play options that are good, but aren't going to be as great as Tamarin and Rowana, obviously, and those are going to be, Angelica and Angelic Montran. So you can use both of these units. They're very, very strong. The only thing is, they don't have an attack buff and they don't have that revive, but their healing is very, very strong, and they should be good enough up until level 5 still. Now, for the other 2 slots, I definitely recommend damage dealers. So I think the 2 best damage dealers right now for this current season are the ones I'm using. You'll see Violet and Ravi. 1, because they are very, very bulky. 2, because they have counterattacks built in, especially if you have Ravi on counter set. And 3, they also have devices unique to themselves, as you'll see later on. So I think these 2 are the best. Now, these are also going to be units you have to pull for. If you don't have these 2 units, it is okay. There's a lot of other options you can use. Basically anything with pure single target on their S1, because you have to abuse the single target mechanic from devices later on, as we'll see. But I would recommend other options like Commander Lorena. She's very, very powerful, one of the best. Landy is extremely powerful as well. Luna, if you have her, she's very, very strong. You can also use a unit such as Shu, even Alencia is okay. There's just so many good options that you can use. You can even use like a Sigrid or even Alexa, right? Just anything with strong single target. Even Hwayoung is very, very strong as well, Surmia as well, and you'll be good to go. Now, that being said, if you don't have a Violet or a Ravi on your team, then what I would do is actually change up your team formation. You see in my team that I have Violet tanking. If you have Violet or Ravi, either of them you want to be in the front to soak damage because they'll be constantly countering. If you guys don't have both of these units or either of these units, I would just put Rowana in the front on like a free HP set and you'll be really good to go for this. You'll just be suffering from longer runs because you won't be having your damage dealers counterattack as much, as you'll see from a device. But this is the best and safest way if you don't have Violet or Robbie in your squad. So there's a lot of teams you can use. You just want to make sure you fit the theme of 2 Soul Weavers and 2 damage dealing units that are almost purely single target. As long as they have single target on their S1, and having some AoE on your S3 or S2 is fine, but you want a lot of single target damage, and you want them to be tanky if you can, because Automaton Tower has a lot of AoE damage. So that's the team comp, guys. Now, what about devices? So sometimes, devices are actually very important. Sometimes you get unlucky and you might have to reset your run, but that rarely happens if you know what you're going for, because there's a lot of devices that fit the theme. And the theme of this Automaton Tower, in my opinion, from what I have seen and what I've, discussed with other friends with, is going to be single target. And that's why you want single target S1s. The reason you want single target is because you're going to be abusing some of the common devices that are very strong. The biggest one you want to abuse is this one, guys, single attack enhancement device. Now, before we talk about all these devices, guys, if you guys just want a quick summary, literally just take anything that says single target or single attack and you will be fine. And you will be pretty much good to go and pretty ready to auto as long as your team's geared. But we're going to talk about the devices in depth now. Single attack enhancement device, it just makes your single attacks AoE. And usually in Epic 7, single attacks actually, or single target attacks, have way higher modifiers than AoE, obviously. So that means that you can actually do a lot more damage AoE by having single target attackers. It seems counterintuitive, but with this device, single target attacks will do more AoE damage. So you definitely want this device. Even though it's normal, it's extremely OP. You want to try to get this to max when you're doing your runs. Another one you might want is the counterattack one. If you're running a bruiser such as Violet or Ravi in the front, or even if you're running like a Luna and you put her on a tankier build, you can run them on this artifact, and this is going to be really strong as well, because this will also proc your single attack enhancement device as long as their S1 is single target. So these two synergize very well, and it also synergizes very well with this good device. This green one is going to be extra damage when it's not your turn. So you can see like a theme here: single target attacks, counter attacks will do even more damage. So that's basically the theme. And you're also going to see, there's just a lot more that can be effective for your team. If you guys want, you can also use, the bleed device. When you attack with a single target attack, it would bleed everyone. There's another one when you actually attack, you can detonate your bleeds and burns as well. So yeah, definitely want to prioritize the single target attack devices. Any other ones that you see, like this one as well, when you have a single target attack, you have a chance to proc your S1. Very powerful. I would definitely prioritize the single target ones first, and then secondary, if you get the bleeds and burns and there's nothing else to take, you can take like detonation, you can take like the bleed device, you can take the burn device from attacking, right? But definitely prioritize the single target attack ones first. Now for the class and element one, guys, this one doesn't really matter too much, but if you have Violet, obviously this one is very good. Thief Hero attacks with a single attack, deals additional damage to all enemies. But if you don't have Violet, then you just pick what you're running, right? If you're running like a Sigrid and like a Luna, they're both warriors, right? So you definitely want to take a lot of warrior artifacts. If you have no good options, right, and you're stuck with like a mage one, which you're probably not running, or a ranger one, which you might not be running, and you see like a Soul Weaver one, then obviously take the Soul Weaver one. So it just fits to your needs. These aren't as important as the common ones, honestly. The common ones are a lot more stronger, which is kind of weird, because these, it would seem that these are weaker, but they're actually stronger than the class ones. Same with element. If you're running double ice damage dealers, then obviously take the ice one, right? If you're running double earth, obviously take the earth one. It really just depends on what damage dealer units you need. These aren't really going to affect your Soul Weavers that much, because they're pretty much all damage increases. Maybe some evasion and hit chance, but for the most part it's going to be damage. So you want to choose the element that you're stacking. Now for hero. So this is the reason why Violet and Robbie are the best. Robbie has her own device here. It's going to be quadruple the effect of Demon's Blood increase to attack. So she's going to get 300% bonus attack when her S2 is fully stacked. Pretty nuts, makes her pretty strong. You also have Violet's, which will increase his evasion to 100% after this, and he does 300% damage. So yeah, pretty strong. And obviously Tamarin's is here as well, but even if Tamarin's wasn't here, you would still use her. Her S3 starts with no cooldown, which is extremely powerful as well. And the other ones, they're okay, but a lot of these units aren't that great actually, so don't get baited by them. If you have a Charles built and you get a Charles enhancement device, I wouldn't really use them. Actually, you could use Charles. A better example would be like Sez, right? So if you have Sez built for some odd reason and you get Sez's device, don't use Sez because you have his device. He's just not that good. Honestly, Charles might be a good unit. now that I think about it, and Euphine. But for the most part, Violet and Ravi are the best because they have counters, they have a lot more sustain, built-in lifesteal on both of these units, and Tamarin is just Tamarin, right? So not much explanation needed. So that's that's my personal opinion on the theme. I think Automaton Tower, if you just run for fully single target, it's really easy. Honestly, if you have Violet or Ravi pretty well built, after you get to like 4, 5, or 10, they can literally just solo the entire level 5 of Automaton Tower. And if you just follow my guide, guys, it'll be really easy to auto through. Now, if your gear is extremely bad, or you're really new to the game, obviously it's going to be a little bit harder. And you might get stuck on level 4 or level 3. But I promise you, if you guys follow this method and use the correct units, you'll be able to actually climb a lot higher than if you just went in blindly. That being said, I hope this video helped you guys out, guys. And as always, make sure you guys leave a like. And also comment down below what team you use for Automaton Tower. I'm very curious if people use other teams that might be better. And also subscribe to the channel if you guys want to see more videos like this. And I'll see you guys next video. Peace.